My grandmother once lived in a quiet suburb. She didn't know her neighbour, John Wayne Gacy, was a monster. He seemed charming, always helping, smiling, doing community work. Years later, my mum showed me a photo of my grandmother with Gacy. They were smiling, completely unaware of the horrors he was committing. Gacy was later convicted of murdering at least 33 young men and boys. My family was shocked. That friendly neighbour had been a serial killer. John Wayne Gacy raped, tortured, and murdered at least 33 young men and boys in Illinois between 1972 and 1978. Known as the Killer Clown, he was executed by lethal injection in 1994.
When I was 7 years old, a man knocked on our door late one night. It was about 8:30, dark and quiet. My mum and I were sitting in the living room watching TV, the glow from the screen our only light. My mum answered. The man claimed to sell newspapers. She said no, tried to close the door, but he shoved it. The chain caught, but his arm shot through. He tried to grab her. She kicked the door on his arm. He yelped and ran. A year later, my mum recognised him on the news. Cleophas Prince Jr., arrested for murdering 6 women in our neighbourhood. Cleophas Prince Jr. was convicted in 1993 for raping and murdering 6 women in San Diego County, known as the Claremont Killings. His crimes occurred in 1990. He remains on death row.
In the 1970s, my buddy's older brother lived off the grid in northern Yukon. Every few years he drove 4 days to Edmonton on rough gravel roads. He picked up a hitchhiker because he was always friendly and helpful. Days later, he heard a police alert. A multiple murderer in the area matched the hitchhiker's description. He stayed with the hitchhiker for 2 more days, avoiding suspicion. Once in a populated area, he called the cops. 30 minutes later, the hitchhiker was arrested. The hitchhiker had murdered his wife, child, and her parents.
I never thought I'd say it, but I dated a killer. He wasn't a killer at the time. We met online. He graduated a few years before me from my high school, charming at first. But overnight, he became controlling. One night, I threw a pillow playfully. He punched a hole in my door and screamed he'd make sure I never had anything to come back to. Later, he got a job, but refused to go. Arguments escalated until he strangled me in the car at a red light. I pulled into a gas station and escaped. Years later, I saw his face on the news. He had murdered his girlfriend and dismembered her body.
In college, I posted a notice for a roommate. Leonard Lake called. I thought 1 roommate was better than 4, so I agreed. A girlfriend spent the night. At 5 a.m, Leonard photographed us while sleeping. Later, I found he shared pictures with another man. My boyfriend visited and got a creepy vibe. He insisted I move out. 10 years later, I learned Leonard Lake and Charles N.G. had tortured and murdered multiple women and children, filming their crimes. Lake died by cyanide before trial. N.G. fled to Canada but was returned and sentenced to death. Leonard Lake and Charles N.G. were prolific serial killers rapists, abductors, and family annihilators in the 1970s and 80s. They are believed responsible for 11 to 25 murders.